everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and sorry, I haven't had a video in a little while, but I figured why not continue this Criterion month thing I'm doing and talk about a little movie called Heaven Can Wait. Um, you're gonna see on the next video that releases is going to be all the pickups I got, and they'll also tell you what's on here. But just so I can talk about that a little bit too. Um, Now this was a Blu-ray of it. It was not a 4K. But there is a new 4K digital restoration by 20th Century Fox and the Academy Film Archive in collaboration with the Film Foundation with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was great. Um, let's see, conversations from 2005 featuring or from between film critics Molly Haskell and Andrew Saris. I listened to that and I thought it was great. It's interesting. Episode from 1982 of Creativity with Bill Moyers, exploring screenwriter Samson Ralphelson's life and career. Audio seminar with Ralphelson and film critic Richard Corliss, recorded at the Museum of Modern Art in 1977. Home recordings of director Ernst Lubitsch playing the piano. Trailer plus an essay. With just one essay, which I was kind of disappointed about. But I'll get into that more, I think, in the next video. However, in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. So, first of all, this is to me, it's just a movie that when I was laying down in my bed, I was just happy to watch. I don't know. They don't make movies like this anymore, honestly. This movie is just, it's sweethearted. I really enjoyed it. So basically the idea is Don Amici is sort of like the bad boy. He's the player. He's in love with all the beautiful women in the world that he can fall in love with. And, not so beautiful women, he's not, he's not into it. Though it was so funny. Um, there's like a scene with this woman who's obviously gotten older and she's not who he sort of remembers her from, but then when he remembers her legs and she shows it off and the yeah yeah let me get into some stuff real quick. So the film is about a Don Amici is a player kind of guy, and he has been sort of told his whole life that he's going to hell, you know, like there's no other place for him because he's not like a criminal or anything. He's not a murderer. He's not anything like that. He's just sort of, um, I don't know. He just kind of floats around and he can't really, uh, keep someone happy kind of thing, he thinks, or whatever. And he's always in love with other beautiful women and things like that. So he ends up meeting this so he ends up going he wants to go down to hell first. And he meets who I believe is like basically Satan. But they call him His Excellency. And His Excellency is talking to him. It's like, why do you think you deserve to be here? And he kind of tells the story of these women in his life and how he's sort of this player guy and he kind of recounts the stories. And I mean, some of them are a little tragic, but very sweet natured. Uh, his mother really, really loved him. She really wanted to, um, be with him, take care of him, and his father is just this. But they're like upstanding people. They're people in the they're they're upstanding citizens kind of thing. They're very well to do and they don't want to be in a they're basically they only want their son to be with somebody, of high value. I mean, there's this one point where the mother is talking about the woman he met, and he doesn't know anything about this woman except that she's beautiful and he doesn't care. And the mom's like, he's like, if you pull out a beautiful rose, you wouldn't care. And then she goes, I would care what rose bush it came from, kind of thing. And it just goes to show you like the different sides of him and everything. And he's got this grandfather, which you see right here, Charles Coburn's character, and is just the funniest. He's just, oh, I don't know if I'd ever seen anything Charles Coburn had done, but like from the very minute you meet him, he's just this playful, very sweet, like he gets Don Amici's character. Like he just absolutely understands him. He doesn't like the uptightness. He makes jokes. People don't, in that family are very weirded out about that stuff. And so, um, his cousin brings home this woman, and it turns out to be the woman that he fell in love with, and they kind of show what happened, how he met her and stuff. And it was, oh my God, it was just, if you haven't seen it, it's one of the sweetest, most kind of like some people might like think differently today, like because it was 1943 but what he did was he found a beautiful woman and he wanted to like chat with her and stuff. And she was buying a book called she wanted to buy a book called How to Make Your Husband Happy. And he tells this sweet little story like if you were my wife, you would just make me happy just being in my presence every day. And so anyway, she ends up leaving the cousin. I mean, spoiler alert, because if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. But there's, obviously they had to fall in love, and um, she was from like this wealthy steak businessman guy. Played what's that guy's name? Does I have it on here? Um, God, I forgot the guy's name. But he's so freaking good. He was from My Man Godfrey. He's like the father of My Man Godfrey. He's so freaking funny. And so he, is like this steak guy, and there's, and she leaves her, the cousin for him, and doing that causes like rife between everybody and stuff. And her father and mother say basically, we disown her now, you know. So 10 years later, after they're married for 10 years, I guess things get sort of stale in their relationship. You don't really get to see much of that, but you kind of hear it and it kind of does like these birthdays, and the birthday is also an anniversary. So it's like every 10 years or so, you kind of get to see, or even, there's the 25th anniversary later. So, but there's this great scene with her father and her mother. I mean, this is sort of after it, this scene right here, sort of after it, but they're together and they have this long table. And she had kind of talked about how her father and mother don't speak to each other anymore, and she doesn't want to be around that. She doesn't want to be in Kansas anymore. She wants to be in New York, and she wants to have a different life. And she wants to kind of get away from her parents because she just feels like she's going to live there forever and die there. And she just wants to be somewhere else. And so the two parents are across from each other. And one of them, the mother has the what is it, the funny pages, and he calls his butler Jasper to go get the funny pages, and Jasper tries to get it from the wife, and the wife is like, I'll give it to you when it's done. And then he walks back and talks to her. And they walk, you know, it's sort of back and forth thing. And it's cute. It's funny. He gets really upset because she spoils the funny pages to him. And he's like, I wanted to read the funny pages. And he like storms off. And it's just so, it's the cutest thing. I really, really enjoyed it. I think, see, it's funny because people would think like, oh man, I mean, this is the original Heaven Can Wait, and people are going to think it's the same thing as the Warren Beatty one. The Warren Beatty one is actually a remake of Here Comes Mr. Jordan. So it's really weird that they called it Heaven Can Wait when it's really Here Comes Mr. Jordan. I don't know what the deal was with that. Like, I don't know if they got some kind of rights thing to say whatever, but um, I don't know which one I like better, honestly. I love Here Comes Mr. Jordan as well. I don't know if I love this one better or not. I don't know, maybe tied. Because I really, really enjoyed it. So, Heaven Can Wait is just it's cute, it's funny. Throughout it, you kind of start to sort of see understand where he's coming from, like one thinking that he's gonna go to hell, but really he's so freaking, I mean, he's so likable of a guy that when he screws up and does something stupid, and he always has an explanation and he always has this, way of talking, and you sort of see like a succession of things because like the except for the father, his father was different, but his grandfather was a little bit more, you know, um I don't know, crazy and stuff like him. And so it's like the grandfather and then him and then his son is sort of similar. So his son is a what is it? His son is, I think it was Jackie is his son's name, and his son is very much like him. So there's this like family dynamic, and the mother, oh man, the mother too. Like I think everybody in this movie was perfect. The writing by Samuelson, goes what Samson Ralphilson. And it was based on the play Birthday by Laszlo Busfikidze, which makes sense for the because for the title Birthday, but I actually like Heaven Can Wait better. Uh, I I would have rather called something else though, because or at least the other one be called something else because they're not the same story. So you might go, okay, I need to watch the original Heaven Can Wait, not the one that Warren Beatty's in. It's not the same thing. So it's going to be very confusing to those people that like love the Warren Beatty one. I have not actually seen that one. I've seen the Here Comes Mr. Jordan just recently. So I absolutely love these. I was very happy to get this. I think the other Heaven Can Wait, I don't know if that is allowed or whatever, but that could be a great Criterion. So it'd be really fun to have all of them together in the Criterion's collection. But I don't know if that's like really hard to get because it's, a big company, big production company, studio. So who knows? But this one was really good. And if you haven't seen it, and I spoiled some, there's you have to see it though. Like I can spoil the shit out of this movie, and you still need to watch it because it will. Um, it's just something you need to see. And once again, it's something that when I was laying in bed watching, I just cuddle up in my covers and just felt good. I don't know. It just had this like overwhelming sense of like, I don't know, happiness and joy to it. That it's funny, it was uplifting. Um, whenever you see the characters, you start to really just enjoy watching it. And it was one of those movies I just sort of wanted to continue watching. Like I was like, it was like an hour and how long is it? An hour and 52 minutes. And it went by like that, honestly. Like it went by because it was so funny and so cute and so charming. And he was so charming. Like the stuff he said, I was just like, oh my God, I gotta write that down. I don't know if it'll work today or not, but like he was just smooth and able to and the beginning of it where you see him as a kid and he approaches this girl and this girl's like, I've heard you were a bad boy. I can't talk to you. My parents won't let me associate with you. And then he was like, well, I've got this beetle. I thought he was talking about like a real beetle, but apparently it's like, I guess like a brooch, or something, some kind of jewelry. And he gives it to her, and then he has another one, and she agrees, or she wants the other one too, and he agrees to give it to her, and she like lets him walk her and her like dolly that's in a stroller down, so it's just so freaking cute. And you're like, oh my God, from the very beginning, you're like, okay, I get this. Like he's just trying his hardest to be this, nice guy and whatever. And he finally meets the woman of his dreams, and he still can't stop looking. And and then and then at the end of it, like the 25 years, it sort of kind of goes into a little bit of a sad note and at times, but it was still funny. It was still funny, even when there were like sentimental moments. And I really like the sentimental moments. They kind of made you really care more for the characters and stuff. And the grandfather, man, he was so good. Like, um, there's just one last scene I'll just say. It's just like there's this one scene where Charles Coburn is like finds out that she's left to go back home. Well, they don't know it's to go back home. She doesn't say, I think, or so. But he kind of knows she's going back to Kansas. So he he's kind of telling his grandfather that he's done all he can. He doesn't know if he can do anymore, and he doesn't want to, and basically his grandfather tells him, "Don't give up on her, and I'm gonna help you. And you know what? Uh, if you don't do this right now, and I die before you guys get back together, I'm gonna, beat you up over the head if you come to heaven." Stuff like that. Um, just cute. And so she's telling this His Excellency all of this stuff, and I was just like surprised because when you think of hell, you think of evil, you think bad or whatever, and the way that guy this Excellency was, he was hearing him out, and he was trying to decide whether or not he deserves to be in hell. And he's like, if you go to hell, you can't listen to Beethoven, can't listen to Mozart. The music here is not as nice, and stuff. And it's just it's just so funny and cute. I don't know. I love movies about the afterlife, but I love movies more where they have to explain themselves kind of thing. And I wish that we would do another one of those kind of thing. We need to get back to doing movies like this where it's just they don't need to spend billions of dollars. They'll make, their money back. They'll make more than their money back because people I feel like right now in the world we're living in sort of a time period where even though we are going past the 40s and whatnot, we're not in the 40s. You know what I mean? Like, but we are sort of at this time period where we're wanting stuff to come back to sort of not, you know, not this like kind of grossness to anything, but like um we need something where people are just charming and sweet and it's just a nice freaking story. It doesn't have to have the spectacular stuff going on or it doesn't have to spend $100 million on it. Like spend $10 million, get some really good 10 to $20 million, get some really good actors into this thing and make something sweet again. I mean, we don't have movies like Shop Around the Corner or You've Got Mail, which is Shop Around the Corner remake, We don't have that anymore. It just doesn't feel that way. And I feel like that's what's missing in Hollywood now. And maybe some people will start doing that again and we'll have sort of a resurgence. But right now we don't have it. And so when I get to watch these movies I haven't seen, so thank you, Criterion. But when I get to watch these movies I haven't seen, and I'm like, this is just freaking sweet. Like, I'm fallen in love with this movie. Like, I can't wait to watch it some more, and again and again. So, if you get a chance to check this out, please do. And let me know what you guys think. Until then, everybody, bye.